Menopause symptoms do not last a few months. For most women, they last between 7 and 14 years. That is not a typo. A significant portion of women continue experiencing hot flashes, sleep disruption, mood shifts, and cognitive fog well into their 60s, sometimes beyond. And yet the conversation around managing these symptoms often skips straight to pharmaceuticals, leaving millions of women unaware that what they eat every single day has a measurable, clinically documented impact on how their body navigates this transition. A 2026 systematic review published in the Climacteric Journal by Maunder and colleagues at Western Sydney University analysed 158 studies, including 114 randomised controlled trials drawn from a pool of 3,187 citations. What they found was striking. Specific dietary patterns and individual foods consistently reduce the frequency and severity of menopause symptoms across multiple biological pathways. This video walks through the top 10 foods identified through that body of evidence, explaining not just what to eat but why it works at a physiological level. Flax seeds contain the highest concentration of lignans found in any plant food. Lignans are a class of phytoestrogens, meaning they interact with estrogen receptors in the body in a way that can either gently mimic or modulate estrogen activity, depending on what the body needs. During menopause, when estrogen levels drop sharply, this modulating effect becomes particularly valuable. Multiple randomized controlled trials included in the Maunder review showed that women consuming ground flaxseed daily reported reductions in hot flash frequency and improvements in sleep quality. The key is ground flaxseed, not whole. The outer hull of a whole flaxseed passes through the digestive system largely undigested, meaning the lignans never get absorbed. 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed added to oatmeal, smoothies or yogurt daily is the amount most consistently used in clinical trials showing benefit. Soy is one of the most researched foods in menopause science, and the evidence, when read carefully, is considerably more nuanced than the headline suggests. Soy contains isoflavones, specifically genistein and digoxin, which are phytoestrogens with a particular affinity for estrogen receptor beta, the receptor type found heavily in bone, brain, and cardiovascular tissue. The Maunder review found that isoflavone supplementation and whole soy food consumption were among the most consistently supported dietary interventions for reducing vasomotor symptoms, which is the clinical term for hot flashes and night sweats. Whole soy foods, edamame, tofu, tempeh, and miso, appear to offer more benefit than isolated supplements in many studies, likely because of the synergistic effect of the whole food matrix. Women who metabolize digoxin into a compound called equal, which roughly 30 to 50% of Western women can do, tend to show the strongest responses. Fermented soy products like tempeh and miso may support equal production by influencing gut microbiome composition. Broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale and cabbage belong to the cruciferous family, and their relevance to menopause goes beyond general nutrition. These vegetables contain a compound called indole 3-carbinol, which the body converts into diindolylmethane during digestion. Diindolylmethane supports the liver's ability to metabolize estrogen along a favorable pathway, specifically favoring the production of 2-hydroxyestrone over 16-alpha-hydroxyestrone. This matters because the ratio of these 2 estrogen metabolites influences not only symptom severity, but also long-term tissue health. Studies in the Maunder review that examined dietary patterns rather than single nutrients consistently found that women with higher cruciferous vegetable intake had lower rates of severe vasomotor symptoms and better hormonal balance markers. Aiming for 1 to 2 servings of cruciferous vegetables daily, lightly cooked rather than raw to reduce goitrogen load, is a practical and evidence-aligned approach. Salmon, sardines, mackerel, and herring are rich in long-chain omega-3 fatty acids, specifically eicosapentaenoic acid and docosahexaenoic acid. These fatty acids have well-documented anti-inflammatory effects, and inflammation plays a central role in menopause symptom severity. The drop in estrogen during menopause removes one of the body's natural anti-inflammatory buffers, which is why joint pain, mood dysregulation, and cognitive changes often intensify during this period. The Maunder review highlighted omega-3 intake as a dietary factor associated with reduced depressive symptoms and improved mood stability in perimenopausal and postmenopausal women. Separate research has also linked higher omega-3 status to reduced hot flash frequency, potentially through effects on serotonin and norepinephrine pathways in the hypothalamus. the brain region that regulates body temperature. 2 to 3 servings of oily fish per week aligns with the intake levels studied in clinical trials. Lentils, chickpeas, black beans, and kidney beans are dense sources of both phytoestrogens and dietary fiber. The fiber component is particularly important because of its role in what researchers call the estrobolome, the collection of gut bacteria responsible for metabolizing and recycling estrogens. A healthy, fiber-rich gut microbiome supports optimal estrogen metabolism, while a disrupted microbiome can lead to either excess estrogen reabsorption or insufficient estrogen recycling, both of which worsen hormonal imbalance. The Maunder Review's analysis of dietary pattern studies consistently showed that women following plant-rich, high-fiber dietary patterns had lower symptom burden across multiple menopause domains. Legumes offer the dual advantage of phytoestrogen content and prebiotic fiber, making them one of the most efficient single foods for supporting hormonal health during menopause. 3 to 4 servings per week is a realistic and clinically relevant target. Yogurt with live cultures, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, and kombucha all contribute to microbiome diversity, which has emerged as a significant factor in menopause symptom management. The gut microbiome influences estrogen levels through the estrobolome, but it also affects serotonin production. Approximately 90% of the body's serotonin is produced in the gut, which directly impacts mood, sleep, and anxiety, all of which are commonly disrupted during menopause. Research included in the Maunder Review found associations between probiotic intake and improvements in mood-related menopause symptoms. Fermented foods also support the conversion of phytoestrogens into their more bioactive forms, which is why combining fermented foods with soy or legumes may produce synergistic benefits. Daily inclusion of at least one fermented food source is a low-effort, high-return dietary habit for women in the menopause transition. Almonds, walnuts, sunflower seeds, and pumpkin seeds provide vitamin E, magnesium, and healthy fats, a combination that addresses several menopause symptom pathways simultaneously. Vitamin E has been studied specifically for its effects on hot flash severity, with some trials showing meaningful reductions in women with moderate to severe vasomotor symptoms. Magnesium supports sleep quality and nervous system regulation, 2 areas heavily affected during menopause. Walnuts in particular are notable for their alpha-linolenic acid content, a plant-based omega-3 that supports cardiovascular health, important because estrogen's protective effect on the heart diminishes after menopause. A small daily handful of mixed nuts and seeds, roughly 30 grams, provides a meaningful contribution to these micronutrient needs without excessive caloric load. Green tea contains a class of polyphenols called catechins, with epigallocatechin gallate being the most studied. These compounds have antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and mild phytoestrogenic properties. Research referenced in the Maunder Review found associations between green tea consumption and reduced bone loss in postmenopausal women, as well as improvements in cognitive function markers. Green tea also contains L-theanine, an amino acid that promotes calm alertness and has been shown in clinical studies to improve sleep quality and reduce anxiety, 2 of the most commonly reported menopause complaints. 2 to 3 cups of green tea daily provides a clinically relevant polyphenol dose, while also contributing to hydration, which supports skin integrity and reduces the perceived intensity of hot flashes. Spinach, Swiss chard, collard greens, and bok choy are rich in calcium, magnesium, vitamin K, and folate, nutrients that become critically important after menopause when bone density loss accelerates significantly. Estrogen plays a key role in maintaining bone mineral density, and its decline during menopause increases the rate of bone resorption. The Maunder Reviews included studies on dietary patterns consistently found that women with higher vegetable intake, particularly dark leafy greens, had better bone health outcomes and lower fracture risk over time. Vitamin K2, found in fermented foods and some greens, works synergistically with calcium and vitamin D to direct calcium into bone tissue rather than arterial walls. Building meals around dark leafy greens as a base, rather than treating them as a side, is one of the most impactful long-term dietary shifts a woman can make entering this life stage. The evidence is clear, the foods are accessible, and the cumulative effect of eating this way consistently is a menopause experience that is genuinely more manageable.